Hello, can you hear me now?
I can, yes.
Hi, Mr. Hanno. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm on my mobile, so I'm a bit on the go. My camera is not going to
Okay,
work, but I
okay.
thank you so much for your time, and I was really excited for this meeting.
All right, great.
All right. Before we start, could you please introduce yourself and all the wonderful things that you do?
Sure, yeah. I've been in entertainment for a long time. I've been the CTO at 20th Century Fox, which was great. A lot of work on content distribution, but also content creation, production. Also, my journey in content production continued in digital domain and stability AI. I'd say the last 10 years of my career are primarily focused on new ways to produce content, new technologies to make content.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how do you pronounce your last name? Is it Bassi?
But yeah, Bessie is great. Yeah.
Bassi? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I guess you have a pretty good idea of what we do.
A little bit. If you can, that's actually what I'm here to kind of understand better what you guys do. I mean, I read what you posted there, and but yeah, if you could give me like your version of it, I think that'd be great.
Sure. So, the Stephanie Michaels Software Company, we specialize in advanced computer graphics, and primarily the software that we're developing now is the Univah film engine. We have multiple products, but this is the first one, and it's going to be our flagship software. And what Univah is, it's the world's first film engine. So before us, the problem that we're solving is that in 2020, when we started this company, I was actually trying to make my first animated short film. That's what started all of this. And I was looking for a real time software to use that wasn't difficult to learn, that wasn't because I had no animation background. So,
Yeah.
but I love telling stories. So I was looking for a real time solution that wouldn't force me to have to do offline rendering for 900 hours. And that would
Yeah.
also be easy to learn. And the best that I could find at the time without going to a game engine, because when I looked at the game engines that are available, like Unity and Unreal, the learning
Yeah.
curve just seemed so difficult. And I wasn't trying to make a game, I was trying to make a film. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to use a game engine as I wasn't attracted to that workflow. So I ended up stumbling across a different software and I used that, and it was so painful. The lighting wasn't good quality, the rendering quality was not great. And I still suffered along and made the movie. I made the 30-minute short, and it's on IMDb. But after that, I was like, man, these companies that make these softwares, they have millions of dollars. And I found myself frustrated because I was like, why can't they make a better tool? So I started
Yeah.
doing research. So what I did was I went to the companies that made softwares that I actually liked, like Lumion Pro, and I saw Lumion, which is traditionally for architecture. It's an architecturally rendering software, but I liked it because the real time quality was amazing, and it was really easy to learn. And I was like, man, if we could have a software like that, but for filmmakers, it would be the holy grail. And so I basically went.
What was that tool? Sorry, I didn't catch it. What was the tool called again?
The
Did you look
tool,
at?
yeah, sure. The tool is called Lumion, Lumion.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. And it's wonderful. I've used it many times. I used it over the years for architectural renderings, and it's incredible. So I did a lot of research about Lumion, the guys that made Lumion Act 3D, and I contacted them and I was like, hey, your software is so awesome. How is it so fast? And so they told me they just use C++ and, OpenGL. And I was like, okay, let me learn what that is. So I started taking
Oh, good for you.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 2020. Me and my daughter were stuck at home. We couldn't go anywhere except me taking her to daycare. So I had all the
Yeah.
time in the world. So I started learning C++. And then that took me down the rabbit hole of learning graphics APIs. I had to learn what that was: Vulkan, DirectX, OpenGL. I took some classes. And so I was like, okay, let me see what I can do on my own to just make like a tiny renderer. That's how it all started. I was just trying to make a way to render things in real time with the highest quality possible without, just in real time without sacrificing quality. And I was like, let's see what I can
Yeah.
do. But it was really hard. I didn't know enough. The little C++ I knew, the little OpenGL I knew, it was nowhere
Yeah.
near what I needed to make a software, to make a renderer. So
Yeah.
I took a little bit of my savings that I had and I started hiring. And that's how the software company started. So here are the problems we solved. Number one, we realized filmmakers that wanted to make a real-time 3D animation, they really had no dedicated software for that. The same way that gamers can go to Unreal or Unity, there was no dedicated film engine that filmmakers could use. So we keep seeing them try to go to Unity, try to go to Unreal, and they try to kind of hack it to be for film, but it's really difficult workflow. And what we realized that in the industry, what they end up just basically settling for is, well, we'll just use it for virtual production. Instead of having a green screen, we'll just use Unreal and we'll make a 3D environment and we'll put it on a giant LED and we'll call it, film. So that was pretty much the extent that game engines were being used for film. But what if you wanted to make Toy Story entirely in real time in a 3D software and render it entirely in real time? What tool does that? And there really isn't one. And so that's why we created the Univah Film Engine. So that for filmmakers, for 3D animators who want a real time solution, instead of going and trying to learn a game engine, which has a very high learning curve, they could have a dedicated native film tool created by someone who understands film, who cares about film, who's going to prioritize film. And it's not a game engine trying to be a film engine. It's a film engine natively. We created it from scratch. It's not built on top of anyone else's architecture. It's not built on top of any cloud system. It's not built on top of anything. It's built entirely from scratch, and it's specifically tailored to film production in 3D. And our goal is to render the highest quality animations in real time, completely without using any ray tracing. And what that means, since we're not relying on ray tracing, we've made the software so efficient that it's under 1 gig for the entire install, as compared to like Unity and Unreal, which are 200 gigabytes just to install. The Univah Film Engine is under 1 gig. And also, it works on regular computers. We've tested on regular hardware. So we not only democratize the filmmaking process by lowering the barrier to entry, but because you don't need a $5,000 PC just to make an animation, now anybody can use it. But of course, the stronger your PC, if you have an NVIDIA GTX, RTX, the better the performance of the software.
But so how did you, if you can talk about it, but how did you figure out how to do rendering without ray tracing? I mean, what section? But I don't necessarily want you to divulge your secret sauce there, but that sounds really intriguing to me.
Yes, sir. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. And I don't mind talking about it because, quite frankly, this is what we get asked all the time. People are always so shocked when they see our results on our website and in our videos. And that's why, I kid you not, Mr. Hanno, for the first 3 years, we had a really hard time getting people to believe our software was real. Because whenever we showed our videos, everyone was like, no, that's not possible. That's AI. It's AI. It's AI. So that's why we released Univah Lite. We actually released Univah Lite just so that people, even though Univah Pro is still in development, we released Univah Lite so that people could download it, use it, and see that it's real and it has no reliance on AI. So to answer your question, what I realized, Mr. Hanno, during this whole process, I realized several things. Number one, there's a lot of technology that really, really smart people have done. There's a lot of research papers out there from computer graphics PhDs. And do you know they're just sitting there collecting dust? There's a lot that people have done over the years, I saw some work from 2008 that blew my mind. And it was amazing. It was by a guy called Eric Bonneton, and he's French. And this guy produced work in 2008 that today you would think was done by like the biggest AI company. So just from doing research, we realized with OpenGL, not even using Vulkan or DirectX, with OpenGL, which has been the master API for graphics since forever, if you would just read the research that other people have done, if we actually apply all of what is possible and that's out there, you can do incredible things. So the issue, Mr. Hanno, is that there's just a lot that people haven't applied. And we are applying it like crazy.
That's interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, that sounds interesting. Why do you think others haven't done it?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Why do you think, like you said, there's all this research out there and people are not leveraging it? Why do you think that is?
Okay, that comes now to the second thing that I noticed while working on this project. Here's why. So when I was hiring developers, when I first started and I was hiring developers, it was very difficult to find a very good, as you know, you know this to be true because you're a leader. It's really hard to find really great people in any field. And that includes in graphics programming. So you have programmers, they claim they're the best programmer in the world, but then you bring them into your architecture, they don't know how to work with your architecture. So we saw that. We also saw graphics programmers that were really good at making standalone applications like demos, but then when you tell them to take that demo and to bring it into your architecture, to make it work inside your architecture, they couldn't do it. And then I saw the graphics programmers who I would hire them. I saw their resume, they definitely had the skill, but then I send them information because that's what I do. I'm really great at research. I send them the information that I've found, and I tell them just read it so you're prepared to do the job. Guess how many of them actually read the information that I send?
I don't know. It depends on how interested they are in working with you, I guess. You know, if they're really interested, they'll read it.
Exactly. If they're really interested in the project, they'll read. And I just always assumed if you're applying for a job, you're interested in the job. So so these weren't, cold emails that we were sending to developers. These are people that saw our ads, replied and said that they want, and we did interviews with them and then hired them and then sent them information so that they could start work, and they still didn't read it. So, yeah, now you see the problem. So they come to work, and I'm like, okay, today we're going to implement physically based rendering from scratch. We're not going to use a library. We're going to do it from scratch in C++. Are you ready? Did you read the information I sent you? And they're like, no, but.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have people that what I've realized a lot with programmers, engineers, and just people in general, arrogance and ego gets in the way of a lot of learning. And when you don't you don't need to be the most humble person in the world, but one thing that every great person that I know of, from Michael Jordan to Tiger Woods to anyone that's great at anything, one thing that they all have in common is that they're teachable, they're coachable, and they're very interested in learning and improving. So when I don't have to tell the coach doesn't have to tell Michael Jordan, hey, you're a little weak on your left side. Michael Jordan will watch his tapes over and over and over and then practice over and over. So on game day, you see a difference. So with programmers, the ones that are great are the ones that even when they're not working, they're working on their skills, they're doing research. Yeah. Because if you think you're just going to come to work and you haven't been working on yourself in the off season, as we say in sports, if you haven't been working on yourself, improving your skills in the off season, then during the actual season, you're going to be slow. You're not going to be ready. So even though there's a lot of information out there, to answer your question, why is it not being applied? It's not going to be applied. One, because if you have a group of 100 developers and they all think they know everything, that's a problem. And if there's no hunger anymore to learn, that's a problem. And then when you send them information to learn, if they don't want to read it, if they don't, I have a test that I do. If I have a developer who has a problem while writing code, and I come and I say, hey, you've been stuck on this for 2 days. And I look at their search history and they haven't even done a Google search to try to figure it out. You know? And then I come and in 2 seconds I can figure it out, or in 5 minutes I can figure it out. That's a problem, because you could have easily done that Google search to find that problem, a solution to that problem. So when the answer to your problem is literally the first link on Google, and the developer didn't even bother to search it and click on that link, because if you had clicked it, it would have been purple. So, you know, like, these are the things that I look at. And I've seen a lot of times that it's just some people are not hungry enough, I think. That's just what it is. And the vision isn't there. There's a difference in vision. That's why you can have one CEO of a company. The company is not doing too great. They get another CEO. The company's doing better. Same product, different CEO, different vision.
Yeah. I agree with that, by the way. And, I'm no longer at Stability AI, and part of the problem was that our CEO couldn't figure out what the vision was. That is really a problem. Yeah. I agree.
So,
by the way, is there a way to kind of see your software in action?
absolutely, yes, sir. Can you show, if you don't mind, if you can share your screen, I will take you to our website.
Share my screen?
Yes, sir. If you're not too familiar with Google Meet, I can direct you. There should be...
No. I know how to share a screen, but how would that help you?
It would help,
I mean,
because I can show you what our website... Our website has a lot of clips. Since I'm on my phone, Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going to go on my computer, go to your website, and you're going to tell me go there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. So on your address bar, you can type
Can you see it now?
I can see a white. Yes. So you can type our software company, which is smsoftwarecompany.com. smsoftwarecompany.com. Okay. So this is Univah Pro. And as I said earlier, we released Univah Lite, which is meant to teach you Univah Pro. So if you scroll down, you can kind of see this little paragraph here, which tells you what we are, what we do. So Univah Pro is powered by our proprietary motion graphics and visual effects system called Religion VFX. And so that's what Univah does. So let's scroll down. You can kind of see the UI. Okay, so this video here was a little presentation we made for SIGGRAPH. You can watch this one if you like, but we have very detailed tutorials where we show how to add a scene, how to create a scene from scratch, how to import 3D models. I did some research on Stability AI, so I kind of know what you guys do. You have a really great product called Fast 3D, which makes 3D models very quickly. So
yeah, it's a little outdated now, but it's fast. That is true. It's very fast. Stable Fast 3D is very fast.
Yeah. So I thought that was very, very cool. That's very interesting because we've all been waiting for something like that since forever. It makes our life so much easier.
Yeah.
All right. So here We can, if you want to, do you want to watch a video or do you want to see images, renders?
It was just because with the video, it's going to be a little bit tricky. With the, I can watch the videos later. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's go to renders. So if you go up top, you're going to see computer graphics, and in the drop down menu, click on in the drop down menu, go to Univah renders. Okay, so everything that you're seeing here is exactly what's in the viewport. These are not even final renders. This is taken directly from the viewport.
So is this okay? So what's the so you built? How do you? Let's see. Let's look at this here. For example, this is a very complex, detailed kind of scene, right?
Yes, sir.
How do you? So do you have like a 3D editor, right, where you build this scene, and then I'm just trying to figure out what this looks like. Does this work like? So you create your scene basically like you would in, let's say, Blender or Maya or something, and then you just can render this in real time? Do you have a viewport that render this in real time, or how does this work?
How does it work? Okay, great question.
Yeah.
Here's what we can do. Do you see at the top where it says Figma versus Univah?
Yes.
Okay, let's click that real quick, and then we'll come back to this, because in this right here, if you scroll down, you're going to see some very short videos of Univah Lite, which answers, okay, stop here. So this is a very short clip of Univah Lite. Univah Lite and Univah Pro, the exact same software. And so you see here, we're showing you the foundation of the tool, how to use the tool very quickly. This is a very easy to learn tool. You can learn it in 30 minutes. So just like in Maya, you have an outliner. The outliner shows you everything that's in the scene. Those little checkboxes, that's how you show and hide an object. So that controls the visibility of the object. So right now we just have a plane and we have a grid. And that's what you see in the outliner. To the right, you have your material editor, you have your religion tab, you can have your timeline. And just like in Maya, now we've added a cube. And we have our gizmos, such as translate, rotate, and scale.
Yeah.
So now, and if we want to make a motion graphics effect, we can go to religion and we can start using motion graphics effects. If you scroll down, so that kind of answers your question there, because just as we added that cube, we can add anything else. We can import FBX models, animated FBX scenes. So with that now answered, if you want to go back to the renders, I just wanted to show you a clip. Sometimes it's better to show than to explain.
Yeah, no. And by the way, I can clearly, I can clearly go and look, at that. It's just that I feel like it's a little bit of a waste of time with you on the phone here for me to watch.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So okay, so you put enough, and so you have capabilities to, obviously put geometry in here and then texture and look depth and your light sources and all that stuff.
Exactly. And to answer your question more specifically, since you're looking at this scene, so what made this render possible? This 3D model is a 3D scan that I purchased from any content store out there. So this one specifically came from the DAS 3D content store. So I just purchased this 3D model. It came as an FBX. I imported that FBX into Univah, and then in Univah, I light it, I shade it, and this is just how it looks in the viewport.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. I mean, some elements look a little flattened, like that grid here or here, but yeah, I would love to see that what it looks like actually in the viewport when I move it around. But this is really interesting. Yeah. And what's interesting is, by the way, that some of the stuff looks really like this. This looks actually nice. The fan here.
Mhm. Yes.
But some things looks like super photoreal, and then others kind of look a little stylized.
Exactly. And that's the point because every animator isn't going to want super realistic, right? So sometimes you might want to make something very cartoonish, very Avatar, The Last Airbender, and a great renderer should be able to do all of that. It's not always about photoreal. It should be if you want your animation to look like a pencil drawing, Univah should be able to do that, and it does.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, what's kind of your primary user base for this? Who do you think should use this?
So, because we're going to be adding the compositing, so we're adding real time compositing and we're making it easier than it's ever been before. And what that does is it allows for anybody. So now a TikTok user or a TikTok or YouTube content creator, and there are millions of those, they're going to be able to record a video on their phone. So let's say a YouTuber records a video on their phone running on the beach. They take the video, they bring it into Univah, and now they can composite and add a dragon following them. You see? So that ability alone is going to make Univah very appealing to a very wide audience. So we don't want this to be just a tool that the high-end animation studio uses. We want it to be something that anybody can use. That's why it's so approachable. It's so easy to use. But of course, it's being designed for filmmakers, for 3D filmmakers. So that would be your animation studios to even your indie freelancer.
Mm. Yeah. How do you think this, like the use case you just mentioned, where somebody has a shot and now they're adding, like you said, a dragon into that? How do you think this compares with some of the AI solutions out there now? So I can go to Google Veo or CDNs or something like that, and I can or Luma AI or whatever, and can add elements like that too, and they will be. I mean, what do you think about that?
That's a great question. So we've always said that Univah is for people who want better than AI. And the reason we can make that statement very confidently is because we know what AI provides, and we don't at all downplay that. And generative AI has some really amazing use cases. However, it is not quite there yet. Number one, it's expensive AF. It's super expensive for the companies to run these things. Number two, on the user side, it's not free. I can come into Univah and I can, with one laptop, go completely off the grid. I don't have to connect to any cloud service in order to render 6K videos for as long as I want. I can render as many 6K, 8K videos directly from Univah as long as I want without connecting to anything. I have complete independence. With AI, you do not. You're lucky if you get a 5-second video, 10-second video, then 20-second video, and you're paying for that every time. That's number one. Number two, you never really get what you want the first time. You hardly ever get what you want the first time you prompt. So you have to re-prompt and prompt, and by the time you're done prompting, your fingers are ready to fall off. So you're going to be typing a paragraph, okay, a 3-page thesis just to get exactly what you want. And then if your fingers are all in the right place, because AI will hallucinate and give you things might end up, your foot might end up on the table. So we've seen all sorts of things with AI, and you have to reprompt and then reprompt and regenerate. And all of that is waiting. So really we equate the AI workflow to just a modern offline renderer, because that's essentially what it is. You're typing, and then you hit enter, and then you wait, and it generates, and then it gives you something. Then you review it. If you don't like it, which more than likely you won't until maybe your 10th try, and then you get something that you want. And then you get a 10-second video, and that's it. You can post it on social media, but what can you do with it? That video is really not yours. You can't copyright it. You can't do anything with it. That's all you're going to get is you can post it on social media. But in Univah, you get a scene. Univah gives you a scene, a 3D scene that you can save. It's a file. You can share it within your team. You can rotate all around the file. You can see it from every angle. So it's for people that love control. It's for people that want a scene. It's for people that want to be able to click on anything in the scene and move it with the gizmo and control it. So you get more speed without having to pay extra for all that other stuff. But again, nothing, AI has its amazing use cases. But to answer your question, that's really where we beat AI, is in control and in just being more efficient. We're just way more efficient. We don't cost anything. If you want 50 videos, it doesn't cost you any more than it would to make one video.
Yeah, actually, you know what, that actually makes sense, and which I think makes this actually interesting, is because you get the speed of AI, but you don't lose the control of a traditional. Actually, it's faster than AI, I would say.
Yeah, it's much faster.
Sometimes I'm sitting here, if it's real time, because sometimes I'm sitting here in 20 minutes for my 10-second video to appear, and then it's not what I wanted. I just paid $2 for something I didn't particularly want, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So what's beautiful about Univah compared to AI and compared to offline rendering? Now, you already know, Mr. Hanno, I know you already know about the struggles and pains of offline rendering. But
yeah, I mean, I lived it every day at Digital Domain, right? I mean, we were Visual Effects House, and our render form, let's say, wasn't the newest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, that was like managing the farm was always a huge problem. Yeah.
Yes. So that's what we do. Univah is meant to eliminate the need for a render farm, because if you're looking at these images and you like the quality, remember that this is just the beginning of Univah. Once we have once we have great investment and we're able to write all our shaders, we're able to finish and master everything that we need in order to finish and complete this tool, it's going to look 10 times better than what it is now. And I already know exactly what to do. I just need help getting there. So you're looking at the beginning stages of a very powerful film tool, and the ability to see the final quality in the viewport with no graininess. That's the key. This is where we are beating everybody. If you go to Blender right now, they may claim they're a real-time tool, but they're not, because every time you move a camera or add a light, there's graininess. It has to refresh the viewport. It's always refreshing. And the more complex in geometry your scene gets, you already know what happens. It gets grainier and grainier because it's always relying on ray tracing on some level. Univah has none of that. It's never grainy. We're just so different. So you're always working in final pixel. And then to render, you just go at the top. You see where it says render? You click render, you render the video or you render the image. You can do EXR, and we have render passes. That's another thing that makes us different from AI. So a professional doesn't just want to make a video. You and I both know professionals, they want render passes for compositing. So
yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, all that makes a ton of sense. So let's say you're, if I may ask, how much are you looking to raise here?
So right now we are valuing Univah at a $5 million valuation, pre-seed, pre-revenue. And we're just asking for, the ask is $500K, a very, very, very low. People were telling us to do 3 million. We don't really need that. We really just need like 500K. And the goal is to do this once, raise once, and then from there, it's self-sustaining. We've done the math. We're a very lean company. If we had 20 staff, then yeah, we would we would probably need more than 500K. But because I do things in a very lean way, I'm behind the computer myself, writing the code myself, and then I hire maybe one or two developers, and we just go all night long. So because I keep things very lean, with 500K, I've done the math for a 15-month runway. We can complete the Univah film engine, and we can take it to market. And the infrastructure is already written. Majority of the work is already done. I already have the back end. The licensing system is already written. Right now, if you go to the Univah Lite webpage, you can purchase Univah Lite. You can see how quick it is to install. You can download the free trial. So all of that's already done. So the 500K is going to more toward just finishing and improving what we have, adding the features we don't have, and then marketing it. Because no matter how great we are, people need to know we exist. So we need help with marketing, and we need to be able to continue developing the tool, finish the tool, and then it's going to be self-sustaining with the math that I've done, and I have all the paperwork in case you're interested. Do you know, guess how many users we need in order to be cash flow positive to hit a 1 million, 1.5 ARR? Just 2,000.
Oh, okay.
We just need 2,000 users in the first year. And if you want to see our prices...
So I don't want to do the math in my head.
Oh.
So how much revenue per user would that be?
So, okay, let me show you. Can I show you?
Sure.
Okay, if you go to computer graphics again at the top. Okay, go down to where you see Univah Lite.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to show you our structure. Right now, we really want to get as many schools involved with this tool as possible. So we're really pushing it in schools right now. And so because of that, we have Univah Lite for free for universities. And we're also trying to get it in high schools. And we're working with someone who's going to help us make that possible. So keep scrolling down.
Okay. Sorry, I was just taking a note.
Oh, okay. All right. So here we are. So anyone who's in school gets it for free. And anyone that's not in school who wants to start learning Univah can get Univah Lite. And Univah Pro, as you can see, it says coming soon. So these are our early bird prices. I don't know if you can see it, but at the top it says 65% off. So these prices are early bird prices. And I've calculated, even if we were to keep these prices forever, number one, it makes us extremely competitive because you know how much Autodesk Maya is charging per month. You know how much Cinema 4D is charging per month. You know how much Houdini is charging per month. So even when we go up to the 65%, the regular pricing, we're still extremely competitive. And if we were to stay at the early bird pricing, we still hit the 1.2 million ARR in a year with just 2,000 users. And then if we go to the regular pricing with no discount, that puts us at I think it's a 3.8 million in the first year with just 2,000 users. And again, I have all the paperwork for this, so you don't have to do the math in your head. So I believe...
That actually... That's kind of cool. By the way, just curious. I mean, the answer can be either, but now that there's all these coding tools out there, are you using, let's say, Cloud Code or whatever to write this stuff, or is it all written by hand still?
Oh, that's a great question. So you're probably going to find this funny, but do you know that I was completely living under a rock while coding this? And I had no idea that there was like an AI boom happening, because we started in 2020 and we started writing the code in 2021, which was right before the AI boom in 2022. And so when all of that was going on with ChatGPT, I had no idea what that was. I kept hearing about ChatGPT, but I had never tried it until 2024. So when in 2024, one of my friends from India, he was checking out our code, and I saw him go to ChatGPT. And that was the first time that I ever saw someone actually use it. And I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. And he was asking ChatGPT some like compile questions, some coding questions. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And so it was from then that I was like, okay, let me try this ChatGPT thing I've been hearing about because everyone's talking about it. And then that's when we started utilizing like Gemini, ChatGPT for if I had a compile time error and I didn't know what was going on, I would copy the error code and I'll paste it on ChatGPT because it was just easier than Googling. It was just easier than Googling it.
I do that too.
Yeah. But I've
there's
never.
No shame in it. To the contrary, it makes it faster.
Yes, yes, but I've never used Claude. We use Visual Studio. We use so Univah is developed on Visual Studio and also on Qt framework, excuse me. And so we do all of our GUI stuff with the Qt framework. We do our coding. The IDE we use is Visual Studio.
Do you have like a? I'm sure you do. Do you have like a pitch deck?
I do. I sent it to you.
Oh, you did? Okay. I'm going to go look for that again. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. I sent you our pitch deck, and I did not send you our business plan because I didn't want to overwhelm you, but I also have our business plan. I also have our, projections in terms of, how many users we need to be cash flow positive. The minimum is 2,000 users. And of course, our goal is to have millions of users. And I know that we will with the right features. So even with 30,000 users or 5,000 users, it takes our company to a very good valuation, even with just 5,000 users. So if we're getting 30,000 users, it takes the 500,000 investment from the VC to millions. So it's we're in a really great place because we're such an efficient company. And
what I'm going to do is that there's like a person in mind that I'm going to send you a pitch deck to.
Okay.
And they are in the kind of content creation, but also animation kind of area. They have looked at, like, because there's a flip side to all this here, right? Which is, actually maybe a couple, but at least one. There's a lot of people here in Hollywood now that are looking to reduce the cost of content creation. And like you said, there's a lot of independent people out there who currently cannot afford Maya or Substance or all these different tools that Houdini, all these tools that cost a lot of money.
Yes, sir.
And if there's all of a sudden like, okay, this thing actually enables independent filmmaking and it retains the control, whatever, this may be interesting to them. I'll forward that to them, and then if they say something, then
okay,
then I'll connect you with them.
Okay. Are they part of Stability AI or just in other studios?
No.
Okay.
No, they're not even in the studio now.
Oh, okay.
They're from the investor community.
Oh, okay. Well, I really appreciate your time. We're just trying to get this to the right person because we know we're looking for our Mark Markula. So.
No. Hey, I've been there and I've helped other companies figure this out. So don't even worry about it. That's I understand. I know exactly where you guys are.
Thank you so much.
This looks intriguing, I gotta say. It does.
I would love for you to try it. If you want to try it, you just, if you scroll down, we have a free trial of Univah Lite, and you can just try downloading. Yeah, right here. No, not here, because if you do this, you will have to pay. So if you scroll down.
Yeah.
So, yes, right underneath, you see where it says download the free trial?
Oh, yeah, field. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you do it this way, it just takes you to our Google Drive. You get the installer, you download it, and you're going to have Univah Lite.
Alrighty, I'll try that. That sounds
great. Do you have a GTX or RTX computer?
I have an RTX GPU. It's an older one. It's a Quadro 8000.
Okay.
It should work for this. Yeah, it'll work for this.
Okay.
There's some newer AI-related things that it doesn't do, but I think for graphics applications like yours, it should work actually really well.
Perfect.
Like, for example, I do all my Blender renders on that GPU, and it really works well. It's much faster than doing a CPU render.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so it'll work on that one. Yeah, it's a big honking GPU that I have there. Yeah, it'll work there.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I'm gonna, since you already sent me the pitch deck, I'm gonna look at that, and then, like I said, I'll forward it to at least this one person I have in mind, and maybe there's somebody else who will see and see if they want to talk to you.
Okay. Would you like me to email you our projections in terms of how much we need to be cash flow positive? Do you need that information?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's up to you. If you think that helps, then sure.
Yeah, I think it'll make the investor very enthusiastic to see that we only need 2,000 users, because we can definitely get that in a year.
Yeah. I mean, by the way, that is a big benefit that you have, is that you're not asking for 50 million, and
Yeah.
you don't have a staff of 300 people to feed. So that's good.
Yes, sir. Okay, I'll send that to you. Thank you so much, Mr. Hanno.
Thank you. Really good meeting you.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Okay. You too. Thank you.